I can't get my moon pillow out. Ah! Hello and welcome back to another episode of Made by Mac. I'm Mac and this is, I didn't even look. I don't know what episode number it is, but you're here, so obviously it's in the little title thing. I have taken a couple months off of filming for YouTube and I'm glad to be back. I'm really excited. Welcome to my channel where I talk about knitting, crocheting, spinning, making crochet hooks, sometimes making stitch markers and earrings and stuff like that. I'll also talk about finished objects, whips, all that fun stuff, but I'm just gonna start by saying I'm not going to cover every single thing that I have made or worked on since I last made a podcast. If I were to do that, I think this podcast would be like 3 hours long. And while some of you may enjoy that, I don't know if I have the time to do that or the mental capacity to edit all that video either. I'm in a slightly different spot today as well because it's 7:22 where I am and the sun is starting to go down and I'm getting weird shadows over there. You can see them. So you can see my blocking mats in the background and my pile of project bags. And normally I'm over here, but I had weird tree shadows on my face. So we're gonna be over here today. And I know that's a little funky, but sorry. You can at least see all my fun yarn in the background. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I actually backed my camera up so that you could see my finished object in all its glory, or almost all its glory. It's hard to do in a very small craft room when you're showing a long tank top. But this is my finished object that I'm wearing. This is the 7th Ave split hem tank by Bri of TheLittleWolfKnits, and I love it. Let me bring the camera back closer and then I'll talk more about it. Okay, hopefully the camera is back about where it was before. If not, I'm really sorry. We're kind of winging it a little bit today. So this is the 7th Ave split hem tank. I love it. I love Bri's patterns. I have made a few of them and I have even more of them in my Ravelry library that I purchased and should be working on soon. But I love this. I also, when I got into her test, I also was like, well, obviously if I'm doing the first test for her, this should be the first time I use her yarn too, especially since it was on the same base that the pattern called for. So this is her Sunfish base, her 75-25 sock yarn, and this colorway, I don't know if you can see, is called Girls in Bikinis, and I love all the different colors in it. This is perfect. I'm obsessed. It's also the dark color is a navy blue and I really like it. I feel like it will go with a lot of the different pants and skirts that I have. And because it's a little bit wider than some of the tank tops on top, I feel like this can count as a sleeveless shirt instead of a tank top. So hopefully I can wear it to school to teach in. Yeah, I think it's really cute. I really love it. I finished it this past week. It flew off the needles. It went so fast. I'm thinking of making another one, and maybe putting the split a little bit higher up where my natural waist is, because I'm really got a real short torso. And so a lot of the times in patterns I have to shorten things because otherwise it'll be too long on me. But regardless, oh, I should have turned off my notification sounds. I'm sorry. I'll go do that now. Hopefully they're off now. I don't know. But anyway, I'm out of practice, so let's move on. I love this. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I am filming this on a Sunday, and I am hoping to have this video out by Friday, the August 1st. And I believe Oh my gosh, I can do math, right? I'm looking at a calendar to help me. I think by the time you're seeing this, there will only be like 1 or 2 weeks left before the release of this pattern. So if you're not following Bri, the Little Wolf Knits on Ravelry or her store or on Instagram, you should go do that like right now. Also, she has some really fun colors of yarn in her shop, so you could get yarn and a pattern from her, and I'm sure she'd appreciate it. But anyway, I love this so much. It's so cute. All right, let's move on to works in progress. Just kidding. I'm so out of practice. I have another FO. My bad. Hopefully editing Mac fixed it in the title thingy that came right before that. If not, this is embarrassing for me. It's fine though. Okay, also by Bri of the Little Knits is this cutie patootie. This is the C Street tank. This came out a while ago. This is not like a new pattern release, but I tested the C Street for, I tested the crochet version for my friend MC of BlameTheKnots, and I loved it. And so I made, it comes in like a ribbing hem and then also like a curved hem, and it's so cute. But I tested it and made the curved hem, and I was like, I love this, it's great. So then I made another one with the ribbed hem, and I was like, I love this too. And I was like, I feel like I should also make a knit one. So I did. I actually frogged a project that I had made in this yarn because this is so pretty. It's my favorite yarn I've ever owned in my entire life. And when my project that I knitted up into like basically was a failure, I was like, I can't just like give this to somebody. I need to use it in a project. So I frogged the whole thing and saved it for what would be the perfect project. So this is it. This was one skein of yarn, and I made the size 3, which is a 36-inch finished bust. I hope. I know it was a size 3 because I looked at the yardage and I was like, I can squeeze into that and I will have enough yarn for this, because it had a little bit more than 100 grams in this skein. So let's talk about this. This is, the yarn is from Pineapple Yarn, and it's from like her Sun Club from April 2021, I believe. I could be wrong. Wait, is this the right tag? If this is the right, nope, it's not. I don't know what month it was, but this was a club colorway, so you can't get this anymore. So I can't even be like, hey, can I buy like a sweater quantity or like a house full quantity and cover everything I own with this? So I needed the perfect thing, and I used every single inch of this yarn. And when I say every single inch, I mean it. I was like, how can I make this go further? So I also had this little mini skein from her, from something. I think it was maybe a sock set or something. I don't know. But I was like, okay, I'm going to do so much math, and I did, to figure out how I could evenly distribute the mini skein between the collar, the armholes, and the hem. And I did it, and they are all matching. They all have the same number of rows. They all have the same bind off, and I used every inch of that yarn. This was like the biggest win in yarn chicken I've ever had in my life. And this is what keeps me going when I like fail like 7 or 8 times at yarn chicken. I lose, and then I get one like this and I'm like, yeah, and then I just do yarn chicken for the rest of my life. But I'm obsessed with this. I have not worn it yet because I wanted to show it on here and take fancy pictures and all that fun stuff, even though it wasn't a test or like, I don't know, anything close. But I love this. I love this. I fully anticipate wearing this all the time. And I loved the pattern so much and how well it fit that I really want to make another one. Probably out of something that I have 2 skeins of, so I can make like the whole thing out of the same yarn. But I love this. I'm obsessed. I'm so excited. And now I have 3 C Streets. I have 2 crochet ones and 1 knit one. But I love it. Okay. Do I have any other finished objects? I don't think so. I think I gotta move on now. Let's go to works in progress. Okay, this is gonna be a bit chaotic, as if, you know, the rest of this podcast hasn't been so far. Because I think last year when I did like a wrap-up video, I was like, oh, I have like 15 works in progress. Let's go through them all and decide. Most of them are still works in progress. So what I'm going to do is show you things that I've recently been working on. Just assume the rest of them are still works in progress. So let's start with, I just threw some on the floor. Let's start with the largest one first. This is a Della Q bag, which I've never owned before, with the cute little snaps and stuff. But I got this when I went to meet, I thought, just my friend Steph, at a semi-local to me yarn shop. It was about an hour drive, but like, I think the closest like local yarn shop, so like not Michael's or other big box stores, is like 45 minutes away. So I was like, this is kind of local. And I went and met my friend Steph, and then my friend MC was also there, and I maybe cried with pure joy on the way home after that day. And then I got to spend another day with them at a fiber festival. So all that to say, MC has the same bag but smaller. But I was like, I have large projects and I shove lots of stuff in my bags, so I want the big one. And it's neon, so like, obviously, I mean, so anyway, I am currently calling this my anniversary dress, because originally, years ago, literally years ago, I was like, I'm gonna finish this and have it in time for our like 6th or 7th wedding anniversary. That has come and gone. We've been married for 8 years. Shane and I have. And so this is the anniversary dress, and my goal now, so we've been married for 8 years. My goal is to have this done by the time we get to our 10th wedding anniversary, because at this rate, that's about how long it's going to take me. But it's fine. I also last year tried to get it done for my brother's wedding, and I failed miserably on that. And so I was like, I'm going to get it done for Shane's brother's wedding this summer. And I failed on that as well. Mostly because I was like, I can get this done. And then I did math and I was like, I have 36 hours of crocheting left to do on this without like doing any more edging and stuff like that. So anyway, the point is, I've been working on this and it is real cute. It looks kind of weird, not on a human, but it's fine. I actually bought some clear, transparent is the word I'm looking for, transparent boning to go here to make this not a teardrop shape and to make it a triangle shape like it's supposed to be. But this is so cute. It fits so well. I am all the way done. I'm doing a terrible job of showing this to you. But this is a design by me. Will it become a pattern? I don't know. At this rate, it might be in 10 years from now. So please do not get your hopes up. Although, I will say this, if you're interested in this as a tank top pattern, I would be willing to do that. If you're like, oh my gosh, yes, please, I would do that. I would do that for you guys if you want it. Anyway, it's super cute. And then there will be this lace. Oh, wow. On camera, you can see where I switched balls of yarn. Okay, the good news is in real life, you cannot see it at all. But wow, that's obvious. Okay, pretend you don't see that. But I have this cute little lace pattern that will go all the way down. And it looks like this. It's very botanical. It looks like this. So it will be very cute. But I have like approximately 36 to 40 hours left on this. So she's not going to be done soon. But she's real cute. And I have been working on her. I got... she's a her. I got her done, or I got the body of the dress done. Actually, we were doing a virtual knit night with Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy, her Ko-fi group. She hosts different monthly get-together get-togethers every month, and it's so much fun. And if you're not in there, you should be. But she was like, I was like showing my friends in that group like, oh, I'm working on this, and they're like, go try it on. And I did, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I tried this on, because I was planning on like crocheting for another 4 inches, and when I tried it on, I was like, this is the perfect length. I don't want it any longer. It was maybe like an inch too short, but I knew that it was going to grow a lot. So if it was longer than that, it was fine. So anyway, anniversary dress going well. Maybe we'll be done in 2 years. Don't know. The next project that is in progress. Why did that sound weird for me for a second? Anyway, this is a test for my lovely friend MC of Blame the Knots. This is her Nettie vest. She has a bunch of tests going on, but she has the Nettie vest and the Nettie sweater, and they're both in testing right now. And I wanted to test, well, actually, I wanted to test both, but I was like, Mac, that is a bad idea. Like, you need to pick one because school is starting in a few weeks. So I was like, okay, let's do the one that requires like slightly less yarn. So I picked the vest, but the sweater is so cute. And I'm using hand spun yarn, and oh, it is, look at this. Get my face out of the way look at how cute this is. I love it. And I knew that the stripes were going to look different once I joined in the round. I knew they were going to be smaller, but you know what? I love this. I don't care. I love this so much. I'm also using like one of the largest balls of yarn in the world. I've already knit this much from it, and I feel like I'm going to have a lot of leftovers. So I don't know what I'll do with that afterwards, but I'm using hand spun yarn, spun from one braid. Let's see if I can do this. One braid of like a pink or fuchsia tonal on Cormo. I don't remember who dyed it. It's from a very small like farm and dyer on Etsy. If you really want to know, send me a message and I will get the information to you. But then the other, the like color changing yarn, color changing ply, is gray merino that was dyed by Bramble Ridge in like these really pretty blues, purples, and pinks, and I am obsessed. I think the color was called Hullabaloo, and I love this. It's going very well, as you can tell. I have a couple more inches, and then I will do ribbing, because the ribbing is like right under your bust, and then it just goes. And it's so cute. It's so cute. This one I will not be able to wear to school unless I put something underneath it, or really high-waisted pants or a skirt and something over it like a jacket or a cardigan. But I don't care because it's so cute, and I can wear it to lots of other things. And it has ribbing here. It's gonna be so cute. I've been into the tank tops lately, in case you couldn't tell. I love it. But I'm very excited about that. What else do I tell people about my projects? I think that one comes out in September. So if you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so excited. I mean, be excited, but stay excited for a while, because it's going to come out in a while. Oh, it's also in a bag that I bought from Hot Knit, I think is how, I think that's her shop name. But she was having a bag sale, and someone in, again, Chelsea's Ko-fi group was like, hey, there's a bag sale, it's really cute. And I was like, I'm gonna go wander through the store. And I was like, owls, because y'all know I'm obsessed with birds. That'll come up again later too. But look how cute this is. Look at their little faces. I believe this is like a Tula pink fabric. And the inside is so cute. And it has a little snap instead of a zipper, which is good for those of us that get stuff stuck in their zippers all the time. So cute. Okay, let us move on. Okay, this next one, I don't know if I've told anybody the name of this pattern that I've been working on. I'm trying to decide if I want to tell you guys. Anyway, oh no. Guys, I was a bad crocheter, and I for sure did not put a stitch marker in my project to keep it from unraveling. So we're going to be real careful and then just throw it back in the bag haphazardly. Okay, look at this. Wow, that's going to be really hard to see. Okay, look at this. This is a new t-shirt pattern that I am writing, and this is going to be called the Status Glow tee, or just Status Glow. I am so excited about this. Status is a bright purple flower, and it's almost the same color. I mean, out of all of the colors in there, it does match one of them. But I had Status in my wedding bouquet, and I just loved the color of purple that it was. And Status Glow sounds kind of like status quo, and I thought it was funny. Anyway, so I've been working on this. My goal for this one is to get it done within the next week, because for the past few years, have been trying to take my school photo ID picture, which is on the first day of school in the morning, in something I've made. I don't actually know if anyone else that I work with has realized this, but it makes me happy to have like an official little headshot in like the things I've made. So last year I got my picture taken in my funfetti, and then I don't remember what it was 2 years ago. But one year I got it in a different purple tee. So anyway, I'm trying to finish this really fast so that I can get this done and have it be in my little headshot. I have a lot of work on the body left. I really don't know if I'm going to get this done, but we will see. If not, it'll be fine, and I'll wear something else. Maybe I'll wear this or the C Street. I'll wear one of them. But it is going super well. It's going to be a t-shirt pattern. It's going to be really cute. And I think what I'm going to do, since that's slub yarn from Big Sky Fiber, I think. Something like that. Sorry, I have a shelf over here that also has a bunch of stuff. But because it's in slub yarn, I think I also want to make another one in regular yarn. But it's sock yarn. Or sock weight, fingering weight, whatever. And it's going really well, and I love it so much. And it's gonna be a simple little t-shirt. It's gonna be so cute. But that's what I've been working on. I will hopefully get it done within the next week if I work really hard, because I'm not in school yet. But there may be some obstacles to that, so we'll see. But regardless, I'm very excited for it. Okay, that is all of my crochet and knit finished objects and whips. I would like to go to wrapping up Tour de Fleece stuff, because I participated kind of this year in Tour de Fleece. If you are unaware or you're not a spinner, Tour de Fleece is kind of like a social event that goes on during the same time as Tour de France. So while the bicyclists are racing, spinners are spinning. So they spin, we spin, all that fun stuff. Some people like form teams, and there are competitions and different stuff like that. I just viewed it as, let's hyper focus on spinning for like 3 weeks and see what I can do. And so I did. And I really want to go over all the stuff that I spun. Technically today is the last day of Tour de Fleece, so like I could keep spinning like tonight, and I might. I actually have like 5 grams of bamboo that I'm spinning as like a sample, just like for fun, to see what it's like. And I'll explain why in a moment, but I do want to show you what I accomplished during Tour de Fleece. So let's get started. Okay, so for finished yarns, one of these is damp, and I'll have to hang her back up when we're done with this. But for finished yarns, I have 3 skeins. And we're going to go through these fairly, maybe quickly. I don't know. We'll see. Here, let me put this down here, actually. So this first one is a sock yarn. When I did grist, when I figured out the grist for this, I think it's technically a sport. But honestly, like, I think it's just going to be a really heavy fingering weight. I think it'll still easily be knit into a sock yarn. And I did this crazy sock experiment thing, and I have notes for it. And if when I go to knit the socks, I forget about my crazy sock experiment, I might be really disappointed in myself. So if I start knitting socks from this, someone needs to be like, Mac, don't you have like a fancy thing you're supposed to do with that so that the socks match? And I will hopefully say, oh my gosh, yes, but no worries. I have already remembered. Sorry, I'm just pulling out guard hairs while I'm sitting here. Because I was lazy and did not pull them all out while I was spinning. But anyway, this is Cheviot fiber from wow, I don't remember. That's bad. Is it Banshee Fiber Arts? Please hold. I was correct. I had to reference my iPad. Banshee Fiber Arts Studio. I got it eventually. It's fine. And let's see here. 4 ounces. I don't think I used all of it. I had some left over. Wow, I did not do good notes. I thought I had the notes of like how many yards I had and stuff, but it's not in here, so whatever. But I really love it. I made a gradient. I had a whole diagram on a piece of paper. It went well. It was fun. I spun it really fast. Let's see. I don't have dates in there either. Wow, I did a great job. Wait, I have notes on my other thing. One moment. Okay, let's see. I took 1, 2, oh my gosh, I spun this whole thing in 2 days. This was 4 ounces. What was I doing? Oh, I was at the lake. We were on vacation, so I had a lot of time. But please look at it. Please look at him. He's so cute. This will become socks for either one of my brothers or my dad. So, and I hope they like it. It's like charcoal and like a steely blue and orange, and I really like how it came out. They're not necessarily like my colors that I wear all the time, but both of my brothers and my dad I think would like this, so those will be socks for one of them at some point. The next thing I have I was a lot this time, and I like made a whole spreadsheet. There's no way you're going to be able to see that, but I made a whole spreadsheet of like what day I was spending, what I was spending, what project, what time I started and ended, and I will give you stats for all of that. But I think I'm going to instead change my plan and go in order of what I spun. So the next thing I spun is this. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen something so amazing? I love it. So my friend MC of Blame the Knots and I had the same 2 colorways on different fiber bases from AGM Fiber Arts and Angoras. You can find her shop on Etsy, and I highly suggest you do. She has amazing colors. I'm obsessed with them. She has braids. She has hand spun yarn that she's made. I assume it's her that she's made. And then she also has Rolags and bats. I think sometimes she has like, sorry, there was a fuzz. I think sometimes she has like hand-dyed locks, but not very often. But I made this. So MC and I decided, oh my gosh, we're gonna spin these and spin them together. And I think, here, I'm gonna lean over, and then future editing Matt can put a picture of each of the braids that, can you hear my husband? He is washing dishes in the sink right now. It's fine. At least we have clean dishes, I guess. I don't know. But hopefully future editing Mac has put pictures over here of the 2 different braids before I spun them up. This is the craziest yarn I've ever made, and I love it. I am obsessed. But, hey.
I forgot this was what you were doing.
Yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna tell you I was gonna change shirts, go outside, and try to get a couple things done with the boards, but my bad.
I'm leaving it in.
My bad.
Okay, so oh, that's funny. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, okay, so we each spun the 2 braids on different bobbins, and we split the one neonist braid into 4 strips, so approximately 1 ounce a day or whatever. I think I tried to catch up because I was a little bit behind MC when she started spinning, but that's okay. But we spun that, and then I think I split the purple and orange braid into like 6 strips just because it was easier to spin from for me. But we basically spun the same yarn. I ended up with a fingering weight, and I think MC said she ended up with a DK weight. If you haven't watched her Tour de Fleece videos, you should. It's very fun. And yeah. But look at this. Look at all the colors. It's literally like all, okay, not literally all, but it is a lot of all of the neon colors, and I am so excited about it. So this is a total of 8 ounces ish. Actually, I think it ended up being 7.5 because I think once I plied them together, I don't think I don't think I used all of one of the bobbins. I think it's about close to half an ounce of leftovers, but that's okay. I'll use it for something else. But I love this. I ended up with so much yarn on this. Let's look up. I don't remember. I said it was fingering weight. And I ended up with this one skein is 212 grams, and it is 1,118 yards. Sorry, there was a wasp outside my window hitting it, and it was making me nervous. So this is, I don't know if I can make a full sweater from this based off of like the size that I would need to make, but I could do like a full length, like 3/4 length sleeves sweater, I think. But regardless, is this not the craziest yarn? I love it. I'm so excited to work with this soon. I say soon, I don't know, but it's so fun. I love it. Okay, yarn baby is going into the basket for later. But that's my second finished object from Tour de Fleece, and it was a doozy. It took me a long time to spin this. Also, if you follow me on Ravelry, you can see pictures of the different bobbins before I plied them, and then what it looked like as I was plying them on the bobbin too. It was wild looking. So I would encourage you to go creep on that page because it's fun. Okay, let's move on. All right, so I actually didn't spin all of that start to finish. I did one of the braids, then spun the next thing that I'm talking about, and then spun the other braid and then plied them. But let's go ahead and talk about these. These have sticky notes on them, and I refuse to take them off because I'm afraid if I take the sticky notes with the information off, I won't remember which is which. But ooh, can you see it? Right? Oh, thought I lost the sticky note. This white yarn back here is part of a Jacob fleece that I scoured, prepped, and spun myself. It's mostly white. It has some brown and some gray mixed in it when I couldn't separate them well enough. But I still had all this fiber fleece left over from this, and I was like, okay, I really don't want to spin it the exact same way as I spun that yarn because I don't want it up with the same yarn just in a different color. And that one I ended up with bulky weight yarn. I spun it truly woolen from the lock, and it was wild. I've never spun that way before. Like, I found like a 2-minute YouTube video of a lady in England showing how to spin from the lock, like true woolen. It was fascinating. I was like, I'm gonna try this. I was like, this is so much fun. So I did the whole sweater spin, for that. But I was like, I want to do something different for the brownish bits that are left over. So my sweet, lovely husband bought me a drum carder without warning, which is fine. I love presents. But he bought me a drum carder, and I was like, oh my gosh, this would be a great opportunity to use the drum carder for something, because I didn't want to like switch in the middle of that project. That seemed like it would be a bad idea. So I was like, I also had recently bought 3D printed and constructed wool combs, and I was like, let's experiment. Let's do some sampling, which I've never done before. So I really enjoyed it. I think I may have been convinced for future me to do this all the time. So let's see which one is which. Also, the Jacob fleece, the sheep, was named Leah, in case you wanted to know that. Okay, so this one, I have all my notes on this. This one was spun from the bat that I made on the drum carder, which I have decided to name Nehelenia, which is the name of a water goddess. And she's got like a wave. My drum carder has like a wave on the outside. And she's from the Netherlands, and I love her. So Nehelenia. But anyway, she made this cute little bat. Well, I made this cute little bat on her. And then I spun onto this bobbin. Then I took my wool combs and I prepped wool fiber. I put them on there, and then I made roving using, well, originally I was going to use a Diz that I bought, and it didn't go super well, I'll be honest. So I instead used a rounded coconut button that I bought from Joann Fabrics when it was going out of business, and that worked really well. So 10 out of 10 on the buttons. But then I spun this little chunk. Come on, focus really well. Okay, this little chunk from the roving that I made. And so then I was like, okay, this actually was more enjoyable than I thought, the sampling process. And so I think I have decided that I want to spin this from bats. So I don't know what I'll do with this. I may just sneak it in there just so I'm not wasting fiber. But I'm going to put that aside for a second. So this means that I'm going to make a bunch more bats with the Jacob fleece that I have left over and spin them. And I think I'm going to spin them on my Nano and then just ply them into a 3-ply yarn on my electric eel wheel 6. And I'm really excited about this. The only thing I'm going to change from the process that I sampled was I just straight up, I picked my fiber, my fleece, and then just put it on the drum carder. And I think what I'm going to do instead is hand card to get all of the second cuts and VM out, because there's quite a bit of second cuts, and that just caused too many neps in the drum carder. So I'm going to try to make the process a little bit easier on myself, and hand card all of the locks first and then put them in the drum carder. And then hopefully the process of spinning from the bats is even more fun. But I'm really excited about this, and I will keep you updated as I work on this. But I actually have put this aside because I wanted to spin some more colorful stuff after doing, a whole sweater quantity of white yarn. I wanted to spin something that was bright and fun. Thus the neon spin with MC and the sock yarn and all that stuff. So, but it was really fun to sample, and I did count that towards my time and like fiber weight that was spun on my spreadsheet. So anyway, super fun. I really love sampling. I will probably do that again for all of my fleeces, because I feel like I don't want to spend all the time prepping all this fiber and then spinning it and being miserable. I want to pick something that works really well with that specific fleece. So, okay, I'm getting a little bit into the weeds, so I'm going to move on. The next thing I spun after those little bobbin test runs or whatever was a pastel bat from colibri. I don't know how to say it. I should have looked it up. It is part of the name for the like category of hummingbirds, by the way, which will also come up again later. But anyway, not the point. The point is I spun a bat from them, and I had bought the bat at the fiber festival that I went to with my mom recently. So the Great Lakes Fiber Show, I think it's Fiber Show. But the Great Lakes Fiber Festival Fiber Show was amazing. I really want to go every year. It was so much fun. My mom and I went, and it was so much fun. She obviously loves me. I mean, she went to a fiber festival with me, and she does not knit or crochet or spin. I mean, she's very crafty in her own way, but not necessarily in the fiber world. And it was just so much fun to like expose her to all of the stuff that like I'm obsessed with. And she asked like questions that were like so much fun to explain. And it was just so much fun to go with her. And she was like, I don't want to buy any of this, but this is really fun to learn about. And it was just a blast. So anyway, the point is I bought 2 bats with her while I was there. And did I buy 2 or just 1? No, I bought 2. Yeah, I bought 2. I had to think about it for a second. But I bought 2 bats while I was with her, and one was this beautiful pastel bat. And hopefully future editing Mac can pull a picture. I hope I took one. Yikes. If not, we'll blame that on past Mac. But hopefully I put a picture right here. But I spun it up and I tried to spin it into like a gradient. And this is all you're going to be able to see, obviously. Also, pro tip. I know a lot of people just like wrap their fiber around and then just move on with their life. But I really love using binder clips on all of my bobbins to help keep stuff there. I know some people have like fancy, cute little clips that go on there. But okay, we're getting away from the point. The point is, look at how beautiful this is. It was very textured. There were like these lime green locks in it. There was a lot of silk. That's what all that little white clouds in there is. And then I don't know if you can see the inside of it is like green, and then so it was like green, and then I went down, and then there was like purples and some very sweet hints of pink, and it is beautiful. But when I got done, I was like, it's so beautiful and so perfect. What do I apply with it? And I didn't have anything that I was like, oh my gosh, this is really what I want to apply with it, that was already spun up or that was already in a braid or whatever. And then recently, I'm going to jump ahead to currently. Recently I was like, okay, what should I spin next? Blah, blah, blah. And I was looking through my stash on Ravelry, because my stash in real life is kind of hard to get to because I have basically drawers and a closet, and it's a hot mess. It's an organized hot mess, but it's a hot mess. And so I actually found that I had forgotten I had this, the color looks wonky on here, but it's fine. This is like 3 ounces of bamboo, which is why I'm practicing spinning bamboo with like a little 5-gram sample. And I think this is gonna look so good together. This is a lot of silk and obviously wool, but I think it's gonna look really good together. And I think this will be, I think once this is spun up, I think it's gonna end up looking just like pastel the whole way through with like minor variegation. So I'm really excited about it, but I wanted to practice before I just jumped in to make sure, number 1, I didn't hate it because I've never spun just bamboo before. And number 2, I wanted to make sure that I could easily spin it thin enough to match what I spun on this. So I am so excited about this. This was, I think, 2.7 ounces and this is 3. So I should be fine to use up all of this with this, if I can do it correctly. I have no idea. It just occurred to me, like, I don't know what 3 ounces of bamboo spun at this fine of a weight will actually do on a bobbin. So we're gonna find out. But I'm so excited for this project. I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna make with it when it's done, but who cares, because it's gonna be beautiful. The next thing I spun, since I was on like a sampling kick and I was like, oh my gosh, the Jacob fleece, they're so fun to sample. I was like, I have this other fleece that is already washed and good to go, and it's a Shetland. My friend MC, because she's cool and I want to be like her, right? Who wouldn't? She was spinning her Shetland bats that she had made from one of her fleeces. And I was like, well, I have one. I'll prep one and then do some sampling. I made a bat from this Shetland, and the fiber from this sheep is so soft, and it's from a local farm near me. I'm so excited. It's actually people that like my parents know, so that was kind of fun. But anyway, I made a bat on the drum carder, and I think that the fleece was too fine for the drum carder that I have, because mine has a pretty low TPI, or teeth per inch, count. And so it was just, and I spun it woolen because, you know, it was prepped woolen in a bat. And I just was like, this was fine, but I don't love it. And I think, again, part of the reason I didn't love it was I was getting almost an identical feeling yarn to that. So I was like, I want to do something different. So I was like, I'm taking this, I'm putting it aside. And so then I made some roving with my combs. So we're basically repeating the process from the Jacob fleece. Made some roving with my combs and spun that up. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is perfect. And I loved it so much that I've been spinning that off and on. But I've only been prepping a little bit of fiber, then spinning it, prepping a little bit of fiber, and then spinning it. And it's currently still on my wheel, but hopefully Editing Mac can put a picture right here of what it looks like. I'm spinning it really fine, and my plan is to do a 3-ply, because I really like 3-ply yarns, you know? And I have a lot of fleece. So that's my plan. So that's what I spun after that. And then I took 2 days off because I think I took 1 day off earlier, but then I was just kind of pooped and I couldn't make a decision. And I had like basically decision paralysis and was like, I have all this fiber and I literally just could not decide what to do. So I took 2 days off. And on those 2 days off, I basically decided, okay, I only have 2 days left of Tour de Fleece. And so yesterday and today, I spun the other bat that I bought at that fiber festival. And hopefully Editing Mac puts a picture right here. And this bat was like a gradient, kind of. It wasn't like a really well blended gradient. It was like, here's color, here's color, here's color, here's color. And I loved it because, you know, neons and sparkles. But I didn't really know what to do. So I was talking to my friend Ruth, and oh, this is still really damp. I need to hang this back up after this. I had this under a fan so that it would hopefully be dry by the time I started filming. But anyway, I made this. This was a 2-ounce bat. I spun it in like vertical strips. So I spun like all of the yellow, then all of the yellow and orange, and then all of the orange, and then all of the orange and pink, and then, you know, across. I didn't split it. I could have split it horizontally and done like color, 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 color. But I didn't want to spin it from like tubes or rollags. I didn't want to make it into rollags. Seemed like a lot of work and I didn't want to. And I didn't want to end up with a super fuzzy yarn. So I spun it long draw. And whatever, let's move on. It was fine. I spun it a little bit thicker on purpose because I was like, this is really fun, but I don't want to make a really thin yarn with this. So this is 2 ounces, and then I chain plied it to keep the gradient, which honestly in this little skein you can't tell because like it's in a skein, but it's very cool looking. Maybe Editing Mac will put more pictures over here of the 2 layers of fiber spun into singles on my bobbins. But I love this. It looks a little bit more like clown barf on screen than it actually is in real life, but I really like it. And I think I got 111 yards out of this, and it's a worsted weight, so it's cute. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it, but afterwards I think I'm gonna hang this back up. So anyway, to recap, I have 5 bobbins, one of that gradient, right, this one, right, one white one that I'm like meh about, 2 little Jacob fleece bobbins, and then another Shetland fleece bobbin as well. And then these are my finished, oh, there we go. These are my finished yarns, and I love them. I love them so much. And today is the last day of Tour de Fleece, and I've decided already if I spin the bamboo tonight or start it, I'm not going to count that because I'm doing the wrap up now, and who cares? Whatever. Let's move on. This is not an official thing. It's fine. But anyway, so that is everything I spun for Tour de Fleece. I almost forgot my fun stats because I took all this information down in my spreadsheet. I have to share it. So total from Tour de Fleece start to Tour de Fleece end, I spun for 36.28 hours. And, oh, yes, I have the minutes, but I don't think we care about that. And I spun a total of 17.83 ounces, so over a pound of fiber. Originally, my goal was either to spin for 24 hours and see what I came up with, or 16 ounces or 1 pound. So originally my plan was like, okay, I could just spin a sweater quantity and be done, and like that's fine. But I'm excited because I met both my goals. I don't think in the future I will increase either of those. I think I will just leave it at 24 hours and 1 pound just because they sound cute, and it also allows me to take a couple days off without feeling stressed about it. But yeah, there are some days I spun for like 20 minutes and some days I spun for like 4 hours. Balance is good. Okay, let's move on. I have some more fun stuff to show you guys. Okay, this last thing is a shop update. I have reopened my Etsy store, made by Mac Dye, on Etsy. Obviously, the Etsy store is on Etsy. That was dumb. Just whatever. Let's move on. I've reopened it, and there's ready to ship hooks in there. There's made to order hooks from previous collections that you can purchase, and then I make them and then ship them to you instead of like buying something that's already made. And recently I released a new collection, and this is the Flashy Feathers collection. If you want to see really cool pictures of all of the hooks, go to my Instagram, MacDyeConley, and I have an individual post for each hook color, and I have a reel as well. And I'm going to go through these really fast because if we are being honest, I don't remember all of the names for the hooks. I remember, let me explain. So I love these. They're the Flashy Feathers collection, and they are all named after different species of hummingbird. However, I have multiple pink ones and multiple purple ones, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't remember which is which because I named them so long ago, like weeks ago, posted about them, and then I've been doing so much. And yeah, and I also couldn't narrow down which colors I wanted, so I have 10 different colors, which is part of the reason I struggled to remember them all. So they're in this cute little cup. Let me move this little thing. And I'm going to show you like 2 or 3 at a time because I'm worried if I try to hold all 10 of them up at the same time, I will just drop them on the floor. So I'm not going to worry about showing you they all have a, hold on, let me cover my face. There we go. They all have a millimeter size label in a white simple font. So This one is a really popular color, and this is like purple throated carob. It is, oh my gosh, I hope that you guys can see how cool this is like on screen. So that one, I'll name the ones I remember for sure. This one is Sparkling Velvet Ear. And I think this one might be my favorite. I love it. I'm keeping this hook for myself. If someone orders a Sparkling Velvet Ear 4.5, I will just make them their own. But this one is mine. I love it. Okay. And then I'm going to show you all the pink and purple ones. Actually, I'll show you 3 of the pinkish purple ones together. Some of the colors on these ones I think are called Anna's Hummingbird. You'd think I would know. But if you can see the little differences, this one's like all pink, right? Oh, wait, I can look it up. This is how much I love my YouTube audience. Photos. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. This one is Costa's, named after Costa's hummingbird, because they're all named after hummingbirds. This one, where is it? Hold on, we're going to go in the order that I remember them. This one is something mango. Hold on. Green-breasted mango. So it has like a green outer sheen, and then it's like purple. Okay. I appreciate your patience as I do this. Okay, this one is Calliope. It's so fun. I love it. I also love that one a lot. And then, let's see, we have, this one is Anna's hummingbird. So super fun and sparkly. That one's like in between pink and purple. And then this one is a Violet Saber Wing. This one I think has a really unique like iridescent sheen to it. Like it's a dark bluish purple, but like the reflections are like this wild orangey pink. But it's really fun. And then this one cracks me up because this is a shiny green hook, and the hummingbird that it's named after is called Shining Green Hummingbird. Who named that? Anyway, I think it's really cool though. Especially if you're like into the Wicked collection that I have and you're like, I need another green one. Like, it's very cool. Then we have 2 more. Hold on. I said hold on like you could do something while I'm talking. That's not it. I'm trying to make sure that, oh, am I missing one? Can I not count? Oh, no. Okay, so this is the only hummingbird that I've seen in real life. This is ruby throated. And, ooh, it's showing up a little more orange on here. In real life, make it a little bit more red. Like make it like 1 shade darker red. And that will be accurate. So a ruby throated hummingbird. And then the last one, I believe, is Rufus, which is the funniest, the funniest little picture of a hummingbird. But this is Rufus. Do you like how I said I was going to go through this fast? And like, that was a lie. And this one is really cool because it's got like a purple, I don't know how to describe it. Like the iridescence is like clearly orangey yellow, but like there's like a maroonish purple, like almost like layer to it. It's so cool. But anyway, I love them all so much, and I've had a couple orders come in already, and I'm so grateful to those people who have done that. And this may be my favorite glitter to like work with, like, because like look at all those colors. And here's a hint, those weren't all of the glitters. that came with that like mixture or like whatever. So I'm hopefully gonna do another collection using some of the other ones that were in there. Some of them are too similar and they were like, meh, they're fine. But anyway, so that is my most recent collection that's come out. And I think you should go check them out on Etsy. They're so cute. Okay, in the effort to keep this shorter and not add anything on, life stuff, I'm getting ready to start school and there's going to be some changes to what I'm doing, which is like not unusual for high school teachers, middle school teachers, elementary school teachers, and I'm sure college professors too. But anyway, and so I'm going to try to get back into videoing, recording for YouTube, and I will do my best. But if there's gaps, hopefully they'll be smaller. But I'm getting ready to start school. We are getting ready to start our official first practice for cross country season in about a week. So send positive thoughts and vibes my way because it's going to be real hot for my athletes starting practices after school. But I love cross country. It's my favorite sport. So school's starting, cross country's starting, just getting back into the swing of things. Summer break is like wonderful and glorious, but it is about to get really busy here in a little bit. So please be patient with me if I don't get videos out on a regular basis again, but I'm going to do my best. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I enjoy the comments that people leave. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I will talk to you next time. Take care of yourselves. And that's all. Go make something fun. Bye.